Hello, Michael here. Looking again today at Psalms 50, a psalm subtitled God Himself is Judge. And we're focusing on verse 11 through to 15 for the exposition. Let's go ahead and read those verses. Verse 11. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. Verse 12. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine, and the fulness thereof. 13. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? 14. Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High. Verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. And so we turn to the treasury of David for the exposition. Verse 11. I know all the fowls of the mountain. All the winged creatures are under my inspection and near my hand. What then can be the value of your pairs of turtle doves and your 2 young pigeons? The great Lord not only feeds all his creatures, but is well acquainted with each one. How wondrous is this knowledge! And the wild beasts of the fields are mine. The whole population moving over the plain belongs to me. Why then should I seek you beeves and rams? In me all things live and move. How mad are you to suppose that I desire your living things? A spiritual God demands other life than that which is seen in animals. He looks for spiritual sacrifice, for the love, the trust, the praise, the life of your hearts. Verse 12. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee. Strange conception, a hungry God. Yet if such an absurd ideal could be truth, and if the Lord hungered for meat, he would not ask it of men. He could provide for himself out of his own possessions. He would not turn suppliant to his own creatures. Even under the grossest ideal of God, faith in outward ceremonies is ridiculous. Do men fancy that the Lord needs banners and music and incense and fine linen? If he did, the stars would emblazon his standard. The wind and the waves becomes his orchestra. 10,000 times 10,000 flowers would breathe forth perfume. The snow should be his alb, the rainbow his girdle, the clouds of light his mantle. O fools and slow of heart, ye worship ye know not what. For the world is mine, and the fulness thereof. What can he need who is owner of all things, and able to create it as he wills? Thus overwhelmingly does the Lord pour forth his arguments upon formalists. In verse 13. Will I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Are you so infatuated as you think this? Is the great I Am subject to corporal wants, and are they to be thus grossly satisfied? Heathens thought thus of their idols, but dare ye think thus of the God who made the heaven and the earth? Can ye have fallen so low as to think thus of me, O Israel? What vivid reasoning is here! How the fire flashes dart into the idiots' faces of trusters in outward forms. Ye dupes of Rome, can ye read this and be unmoved? The expostulation is indignant. The questions utterly confound. The conclusion is inevitable. Heart worship only can be acceptable with the true God. It is inconceivable that outward things can gratify him, except so far as through them our faith and love express themselves. Verse 14. Offer unto God thanksgiving. No longer look at your sacrifices as in themselves gifts pleasing to me, but presents them as attributes of your gratitude. It is then that I will accept them, but not while you poor souls have no love and no thankfulness to offer me. The sacrifices, as considered in themselves, are contempted, but the internal emotions of love, consequent upon a remembrance of divine goodness, are commended as the substance, meaning, and soul of sacrifice. Even when the legal ceremonials were not abolished, this was true, and when they came to an end, this truth was more than ever made manifest. Not for want of bullocks on the altar was Israel blamed, but for want of thankful adoration before the Lord. She excelled in the visible, but in the inward grace, which is the one thing needful, she sadly failed. Too many in these days are in the same condemnation. And pay thy vows unto the Most High. Let the sacrifice be really presented to the God who seeth the heart. Pay to him the love you promised, the service you covenanted to render, the loyalty of heart you have vowed to maintain. Oh, for grace to do this. Oh, that we may be graciously enabled to love God and live up to our profession. To be, indeed, the servants of the Lord, the lover of Jesus. This is our main concern. What avails our baptism? To what end our gathering at the Lord's table? To what purpose our solemn assemblies, if we have not the fear of the Lord, and vital godliness reigning within our bosoms? Verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble. O blessed verse. Is this then true sacrifice? Is it an offering to acts and alms of heaven? It is even so. The King himself so regards it. For herein is faith manifested, herein is love proved. For in the hour of peril we fly to those we love. It seems a small thing to pray to God when we are distressed, yet is it a more acceptable worship than the mere heartless presentation of bullocks and he-goats. This is a voice from the throne, and how full of mercy it is. It is very tempestuous round about Jehovah, and yet what soft drops of mercies, raindrops from the bosom of the storm. Who would not offer such sacrifices? Troubled one, haste to present it now. Who shall say that Old Testament saint did not know the gospel? Its very spirit and essence breathes like frankincense all around this holy psalm. I will deliver thee. The reality of thy sacrifices of prayer shall be seen in its answer. Whether the smoke of burning bulls be sweet to me or not, certainly thy humble prayer shall be, and I will prove it so by my gracious reply to thy supplications. This promise is very large, and may refer both to temporal and eternal deliverances. Faith can turn it every way, like the sword of the cherubim. And thou shalt glorify me. Thy prayer will honor me, and thy grateful perception of my answering mercy will also glorify me. The goats and bullocks would prove a failure, but the true sacrifice never could. The calves of the stall might be a vain oblation, but not the calves of sincere lips. Thus we see what is true ritual. Here we read inspired rubrics. Spiritual worship is the essential matter. All else without it is rather provoking than pleasing to God. As helps to the soul, outward offerings were precious, but when men went on beyond them, even their hallowed things were profaned in the view of heaven. Yes, indeed, God always judges by the heart, and he knows the sincerity and true love of it. Worship God in spirit and in truth. Well, trust you enjoy the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, peace.